Well, thank you for explaining what I believe you call the public-private partnership, which you've been speaking about.
Yeah, I think we can say that because in the future, we don't have a board in Embratur at the moment. In the future, with the agency, we will have a public and private board of Embratur. So, with the majority of members, of course, is the government because we deal with the image of Brazil abroad. But then the private sector is going to be on board, taking part of the decisions, because in the end, for obvious reasons again, tourism is a private matter in terms of investment, in terms of choices, with the good, in this case, good and visible hand of the market, because we can adjust and we can offer many possibilities. Take the Amazon. I mean, the best trademark of the Amazon, the Brazilian of the Amazon in itself, is not Brazilian. It's a company that sells it in the internet. We have to take care of our things in a little bit more organized.
Yes, I noticed that at ITB Berlin this year, just last month, one of your banners said, "There's more to Brazil than the carnival."
It's true. That's one of the difficult things about Brazil. If you compare it with some other destinations, diversity is a challenge for us. But then it's a good challenge. There are destinations that are simpler, smaller countries with a simpler package that gets confused with the country's character. It's not our case. We stem from the equator to close to the Argentina where we have Patagonia. So it's too wide and big.
And the heritage from the north to the south is from different parts of the world. I just traveled 3 weeks, by the way, in Brazil. In Brasilia, Fortaleza, Recife, Salvador, Rio, and here.
Yes,
so,
these are many nations, many countries in one country,
yes,
in one nation. And that is why we need to get more and more professional to partner with states, with destinations, because they have completely different products. And these different products are geared to different markets. You need to specialize more. But when we talk about the potentials, we're talking about countries. I told you, the World Economic Forum has been placing us #1 in nature in terms of natural potential for tourism. But when you look at natural parks, you have 300 million visitors to American national parks. We have only 7 million in Brazil. Well, we have 80 national parks and about 300 state parks. So we can go from the 7 to the 300 million. We can do that. Now, is that bad that we didn't? Yes. But is it good that we can do it and we haven't done it? Yes. Because there's a lot of space to build it. The same with marinas and tourist ports. There's much less than the potential. I mean, that's a tiny fraction of the potentials in terms of this nautical industry in Brazil as a whole, alongside a coast of 8,000 kilometers plus rivers and lakes and the Amazon and the Pantanal and all that. The Sierras, and it's a huge potential, historic cities. So there's a lot to be developed and a lot to be promoted.
I know my next question is, I'm thinking your last comment about the national parks and made me think about new startup tourism companies. The people who are around those parks. Let's continue with those parks. So who are more the likely players who know those parks, and the wildlife and everything else, the culture, but they don't have the capital, they don't know, to get the vehicle, to build a little lodge, certainly not to market themselves.
Well, jobs, when you talk about parks in Brazil, 65% of employment, when you give rise to a national park, an organized national park, or a park, state park, 95% of the jobs are generated locally. So it's very good for local populations in Brazil, native populations, locals, to have that sort of tourism being developed. But there are mechanisms to develop, and there is a potential, and there's a dynamic, and there's a willingness of people to develop around their own soil, their own country, their own nature. But we are a step behind. What we're doing now in Brazil is trying to, in a certain way, to change the framework of thought in Brazil that builds a lot of resistance for the concessions of services in parks. The conservancy attitude, which is good in itself, needs to evolve in terms of a discussion more dialectical and more courageous, because we don't want to simply think of conservancy or capitalist development of a park in a very radical
Private-public partnership.
we need this dialogue and learn with the experiences elsewhere in the world. Now, there are very good experiences that we can inspire ourselves, and there are some not so good. But the wisdom here is to learn with other people's mistakes. And we are in this stage now in the world. There are experiences of good management in terms of tourism in parks in New Zealand, in Australia, in France,
Europe,
South Africa,
China.
So now in neighboring countries like Argentina and Chile, they have been more courageous in trying things. And here has been more conservative. There's a lot of pressure for conservancy in Brazil, and that includes international pressure. And I think we have to go and do this dialogue in a different way. Parks in Brazil should not be parks for Brazil. Parks in Brazil should be parks to the world, because one of the contributions that this country can make to the world is to save its nature and invite people to share it. I think nature belongs to a country that belongs to the planet. I think we can build it. And parks are one of the 13 of different types of conservation units. And the ones that we visit, the parks. And I think that will change the profile of Brazil's tourism in the future. I think nature will play a major role, even beyond the sun and sea, sand. I think it's going to be a change towards green Brazil along the line. That will comprise history, historic cities, historic sites, and will comprise Brazil's culture and the different cultures in different places. But I think it will go around somehow around nature, because nature is going to be intact. Nature is going to be a product in itself, not only for tourism but also for education of new generations, for conservancy in general. I think we have an added value here that can play along with Brazilian astronomy, Brazilian party mood of Brazil, historical sites. But I think it's pivoting from sand and beach to nature.